A month without a voice, a question about Firefly Drinking Songs, and a highwayman riding the Moor. Pub Songs and Stories returns with stories to tell from the Celtic folk tradition to the far reaches of the verse. Music from Marc Gunn, Faoileán, IN.CaliCeltic, Whiskey Bay Rovers, and May Will Bloom. This is Pub Songs and Stories number 314.
It's of a brave young highwayman, the story we will tell. His name was Willie Brennan, and in Ireland he did dwell. It was on the Kilworth mountains he commenced his wild career, and many a wealthy nobleman before him shook with fear. Yes, young Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave, and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor. One day upon the highway, as Willie he went out, he met the mayor of Cashel, a mile outside the town, and the mayor he knew his features, and he said, "Young man," said he, "your name is Willie Brennan, you must come along with me." Yes, young Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave, and the undaunted was young Brennan on the moor. Now Willie's wife had gone to town, provisions for to buy, and when she saw her Willie, she commenced to weep and cry, said, "Hand to me that tenpenny," and as soon as Willie spoke, she handed him a blunderbuss from underneath her coat. For young Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, bold, brave, and the undaunted was young Brennan on the moor.
Welcome to Pub Songs and Stories. Every song has a story. Every episode is a toast to Celtic and folk songwriters. Discover the stories behind the songs from the heart of the Celtic pub scene. I am your bard, Marc Gunn, and also host of the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. If you love Celtic music, go check it out. And I am back once again, this time with less of a voice than I normally have. So I think it might have been at the Irish and Celtic Music PodFest, but somewhere around there, I apparently picked up some sort of virus, some sort of bug, flu, it turns out, and I ended up getting sick, and consequently, I have had no voice for the last most of this month. It's been very frustrating. I did make it through my show back on March 14th, no problems, but for the most part, I've been hoarse, and it sucks. It just sucks, especially since this weekend I am heading to Sherwood Forest Fair. So I'm going to try to get this episode out on the quick side so that I can let you know about the upcoming festival. And meantime, let's get on with some of the news. I talked a lot over the past month about the Irish and Celtic Music PodFest and Arts Market that I put on Sunday, March 8, 2026. And overall, I can say that the event was a huge success. There were a lot of people who showed up. It was a little bit less than my Nerdy Wonderland, but there were still a lot of people who showed up, even though there was the threat of rain most of the day. And in fact, it had a downpour at about 4:30 p.m. But overall, it was fantastic. Kinfolk came out there. They drove all the way down from, I think, West Virginia. They were coming from another show. And they drove all the way down here. They put on a couple of fantastic performances, as did our local band, the Muckers. They were just an absolute delight, hanging out with them all afternoon while I got to chat. I got to listen a little bit, not nearly enough as I'm taking care of things. I also got to perform both solo as well as with my daughter, with May Will Bloom, which was just fantastic. This was the first time I think that May really got to perform on, a full-on show where, well, certainly with a passionate audience, but I think it was just really good experience for her. And that was definitely one of the highlights, was standing up on stage as she's putting on a show. She's taking the lead. She's doing the stuff that makes for a great show. And I can tell how much she's learned about putting on a performance as well as everything else. But it was really such a wonderful festival. I really enjoyed hanging out with everyone. And I enjoyed all the people who showed up and were supporting the festival, supporting the bands. There was a lot of that. People just stuck around all afternoon. So that was incredible. When I look at the attendance again, I see that it was down a little bit from my Nerdy Wonderlands, which for a first year festival, that makes a lot of sense. However, it did strike me that one of the reasons that is the case is because, well, quite honestly, I felt like the festival had a little bit of, it was a music festival with arts market, which is great, but it was different. It was different for me from marketing. One of the things I liked about having the Nerdy Wonderland market is that it is market first. And I guess I understand how to promote that better than I do a music festival first. So I learned a lot, I guess you could say. I learned, a lot of my promotional things that I've done for the Nerdy Wonderland that I learned for those. They worked really well, but sometimes I don't know if it worked nearly as good as it probably could have. I don't know, but I learned a lot, and I was thrilled that I got to put on this festival. I was thrilled by, again, all the people who showed up, and I am grateful to you all. So thank you for telling your friends and coming out to the festival. All right, let's share some upcoming shows before we get started with some more music and lots of stuff to talk about. Upcoming shows, April 4th through 11th, the next 2 weekends, I'll be at Sherwood Forest Fair. The first weekend, every day I'll be doing at least one show a day with the Brobdingnagian Bards. There will also be one show with May Will Bloom, the first weekend only. So April 4th through 5th, May Will Bloom will be performing one show a day. So stay tuned for that. I'm super excited to be doing a show with my daughter. On Wednesday, April 8th, Andrew and I will do a Brobdingnagian Bards concert. It will be over on YouTube. This is a free concert, but there is a recommended donation. This is something I'm trying a little bit more right now because I want as many people as possible to see the shows if they want to, if they can, but I also realize my time is worth something, and it requires, in order to be able to put on these shows, any of these shows, it does require the generous support of people just like you. So if you want to support the show, there will be tickets over at thebards.net that you can go make a suggested donation. It is a suggested donation of $15, but any amount is wonderful. So head on over to thebards.net. You can find access to that show as well as how to do it through PayPal, Venmo, through Bandcamp or whatever. So go check it out. April 17th through 19th, I'll be at JordanCon. April 24th through 26th, I'll be at StellarFest. And that is going to have a Firefly Drinking Songs show. I will tell you more about that in just a moment. You do not want to miss the Firefly Drinking Songs show at StellarFest and at Gen Con, which I'll be at later this year. But the 25th, Saturday the 25th, I am doing a concert at the Lost Druid Brewery in Avondale Estates. And then weekends, this is so exciting. Weekends, May 9th through 31st, including Memorial Day weekend, I will be performing at the Georgia Renaissance Festival. It's been a number of years since I've had a full run there. I don't have a full run, just partial, but it's been a while since I've been there, and I am so excited to be back. There will also be a Firefly Drinking Songs show at Gen Con. Talk about that in a moment. Meantime, this is IN.CaliCeltic. I got to meet with one of the band members a couple months back, and we actually recorded a video. I was part of his video for A Pub With No Tunes. I don't think it's live yet, but this is the song. It's from their album, West of Shannon.
Sad tale of famine and grief, of Ireland's children that took to the sea, and to the new world they went for to make a new start, while old melodies rattled around in their hearts. With their music that still perseveres, rapturous music of triumph and tears. But far all too often in the world's Irish pubs, well, you're sure to find pints and Etsy signs about spuds. I'm here to tell you this message of gloom. There's nothing so sad as a pub with no tunes. A pub with no tunes, a pub with no tunes, no jigs and no hornpipes, no polkas, it's true. We'll cry for Atlanta, you're to blame for this wound. There's nothing so sad as a pub with no tunes. We'll cry for Atlanta, your pubs have no tunes. On the street sign, stout on the tap. But if you're looking for Irish, well, you won't find that crack. Uilleann pipes or a fiddle, concertina or spoons, you won't find them at all in a pub with no tunes. A pub with no tunes, a pub with no tunes, no jigs and no hornpipes, no polkas, it's true. We'll cry for Dublin, California, you're to blame for this wound. There's nothing so sad as a pub with no tunes. We'll cry for Atlanta, for Dublin, California, your pubs have no tunes. By a lonely prison wall, well, I watched the last bar closing. Michael, they aren't gathering to play. Famous in song, it makes grown men cry. You won't find a session in old Athenry. A pub with no tunes, a pub with no tunes, no jigs and no hornpipes, no polkas, it's true. We'll cry for Athenry, you're to blame for this wound. There's nothing so sad as a pub with no tunes. We'll cry for Atlanta, for Dublin, California, from old Athenry, your pubs have no tunes. A pub with no tunes, it's just a saloon. A pub with no tunes, sure could burst your balloon. A pub with no tunes, it's an Irish cartoon. A pub with no tunes, guide me with the spoon. A pub with no tunes, a pub with no tunes. No jigs and no hornpipes, no polkas, it's true. I'm here to tell you, you know that it's true. There's nothing so sad to make you as mad. You won't play in Dad Dad in a pub with no tunes.
Did you hear the news? There's new Firefly coming. That's the story. Nathan Fillion announced it at Awesome Con with, I think, almost all the entire cast at this panel. They're working hard to put together a Firefly season 2, but this would be an animated series, actually. So to have all the original members, except for Ron Glass, who sadly passed away a couple years back. But all the original members will be voicing it. It will be an animated series. And I've done 2 podcasts that neither have come out. Well, I guess one of the Bards podcast will be coming out shortly. But I did 2 podcasts where I was talking with, first with Mikey Mason, then with Andrew McKee, about the Firefly animated series. And the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I've felt conflicted, and chatting with Andrew, that really helped, because I was like, what am I struggling with here? I'm struggling. And it boiled down to the same thing Andrew mentioned, which is, over the years, there have been many people talking about, hey, Firefly season 2, they're going to do this. And then nothing ever happens. And I know that Nathan Fillion's got the entire cast. I know he's got a script. He has showrunners. He has a graphic company who can do the animation. And so I'm excited, but I'm also hesitant. I'm leery. I'm patiently waiting to see what's going to happen. It's because I hate getting really excited about something and then feeling burned. And I know, after the Big Damn movie, back in 2005, when that came out, people were like, yay, we got the movie. And, obviously we were all, heartbroken with the death of Wash and Shepherd Book. But nevertheless, you're like, what's happening now? And you're left wondering, and you're sad, and it sucks, So I feel like that's ultimately where my hesitation has been with it. So I was really grateful to Andrew for chatting with me about that, because when Mikey and I, we were concluding our season 2 of the In the Verse podcast, which started off as a Firefly podcast, of course. The first season of that one was, we wrote 1 song for each episode of Firefly. And then season 2, since we were out of Firefly, we did a variety of stuff. We did some Doctor Who, some Dungeons and Dragons, the animated series. We did the Hobbit movie, the animated movie. We did a Shepherd's Tale, the graphic novel from the Firefly series. And then, of course, in any case, we finished it off. Doctor Who, I think I said. Then we finished it off with the Big Dan movie. And that's where we got to chat a little bit about the animated series, but it didn't quite settle me, I guess. Now, the thing that I am excited about, though, is the Firefly Drinking Songs, that franchise that I have, that project that I have. I love doing my Firefly Drinking Songs show, but I'll be honest, particularly last year, the numbers were down for the Firefly Drinking Songs shows. And there's many reasons for that. I think one of which was when we submitted to JordanCon, there was a mix-up, and apparently the company that was going to submit the show didn't submit it in time, and then we noticed after the fact and got it added. but therefore the attendance was way down. Then we did Firefly Drinking Songs at JordanCon, and JordanCon also was the attendance. They put us in a smaller room than they did the year before. You know, each year we could easily fill 500 people, and they put us in this, you know, I think it was like 200, 150 people that could fit in this small room. And the energy was great and it was wonderful, and I love it. I still love it. It's just, you know, it's a passion project. It's spectacular. But I was like, you know, what's next? What am I going to work on next? Am I just doing Firefly songs for the rest of my life? And, you know, and I decided that that's not what I want to do. In fact, one of my projects and one of my goals for February, which did not happen, was to start working on an album of Doctor Who drinking songs, or at least a show of Doctor Who drinking songs, because I also love Doctor Who, and both my girls are big fans as well. So we have a lot of time watching that show together. And it's really exciting. So, now again, these are not the only things I'll be writing about, because I still like to write about Celtic culture, and there's a whole bunch of things that I like or Celtic culture and music, and I like drinking songs. I write good sing-along fun songs. And so I'm still working with all the fandoms that I love, and I will continue to write a variety, but it does make me excited that, number one, I can keep writing Firefly drinking songs, because apparently if nothing else, I'm pretty sure that they will get one episode will happen. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. When, I don't know. How it's going to come together, where it's going to be watchable, I don't know. But I'm really excited that I get to keep the Firefly Drinking Songs shows happening. That's one of the reasons why, when I was at StellarFest this year, April 24th to 26th, at StellarFest, I had set up time travel drinking songs, because I didn't have enough Doctor Who songs yet. And I said, hey, but after the announcement about the Firefly animated series, I dropped them a line. I was like, so here's the thing. And they too are big fans of all the media. I think they were excited to see the Doctor Who or time travel drinking songs. But when I said, well, there's now a Firefly animated series, I think it'd be worth doing another Firefly Drinking Songs show and promoting the heck out of it. So that's one of our goals for the upcoming months, is for next month, I guess, in the next few weeks, is to promote the Firefly Drinking Songs at StellarFest show. So stay tuned for that. But I still do have a Doctor Who Drinking Songs show planned for Gen Con, which means I still have a lot of songwriting to do. And that's the other thing. I can't just write songs. You can't just write songs and say, all right, here's the Doctor Who drinking songs. You want to catch something that's it has the sing-along aspect. It has a theme that brings people together. And definitely the Firefly has that. I'm not sure if Doctor Who will just be a collection of good sing-along drinking song type songs, or if it'll have that same energy as a Firefly Drinking Songs show. I don't know. And will I be able to get the songs in time? I know when I started, I had a whole bunch of songs that we did for the very first Firefly Drinking Songs, many of them written by Bedlam Bards. And that's what the first album is called, Firefly Drinking Songs, and Bedlam Bards co-wrote the album with me. But I didn't have enough songs back then, and maybe that's something I go with in the future, and bring something together until I have enough songs, or I really start writing more songs. In any case, I wrote this song a few weeks back in February. This is a song, it was inspired by I don't know if it was the first or second, or maybe both episodes of the Matt Smith as the Doctor. There's a moment where he says, they're saying, yes, I am a madman with a box. I love it. But he says, well, he's basically saying, you want to run away with me. So I ended up using that idea to write this song called Run Away With Me. Hope you enjoy. away with me in the middle of the night. We can soar around the stars shining bright. You may say that I'm a madman, darling, you know that it's true. Wanna disappear on adventure with you. To live for, but you heard my knock, knock, knocking at the door. I don't know the time or day, just tired of all the to-dos. Let's disappear for a time, me and you. Open up the door just a crack. I smile at you, you smile back. You look up to the stars, imagine all you can do. Dreaming of adventure, me too. Run away with me in the middle of the night. We can soar around the stars shining bright. You may say that I'm a madman, darling, so are you. I wanna disappear on adventure with you. Disappear on adventure with you. Today's show is brought to you by my Celtic Invasion vacations. Every year I take a small group of people on a relaxing adventure to one of the Celtic nations. We don't see everything. Instead, we stay in one area. We get to know the region through its culture, history, and legends. You can join me with an auditory and visual adventure through podcasts, blogs, videos, and photos. Find more information at CelticInvasion.com, and hopefully you can come hike with me on the Isle of Skye in 2027. Now, the ads in this podcast pay for some of the hosting and podcast editing. My time producing the show is paid for by my gun runners on Patreon. Thank you. Truly, your support is the reason I'm still making music, telling stories, and showing up month after month. Patreon, seriously. There's many times that I've thought about stopping this show, but I love it. This gives me a chance to chat with you about stuff, and I really appreciate you being here. Now, Patreon is how modern independent musicians survive and thrive. Album pens and CDs help get me on the road and in front of live audiences. But my day-to-day life, the time it takes to write, record, podcast, film, and share, it comes from patrons of the arts. So as we continue into a new year, Patreon is where everything comes together. Patrons receive a brand new song download every month. These are exclusive tracks you won't find anywhere else, works in progress, experiments, and finished songs that come straight from my creative desk to you. You'll also get regular updates when there's news to share, behind-the-scenes blogs, short and long-form videos, and access to a growing archive of bootleg concert recordings and special performances. You can join for as little as $5 per month. And that small commitment helps add up to real stability. It buys time to write songs. It funds recording and production. It helps the creative engine running without chasing algorithms or trends. Something I really loathe doing. and if supporting financially isn't possible, that's okay. You can still join Patreon. Just sign up for free and receive regular updates, thoughts, and stories as they happen. And I do a weeklies where I share what's coming up in the upcoming week. That comes out every week, and that's free. So being a part of the community matters, whether you're pledging or simply listening along. Patreon isn't just support, it's collaboration. It's how these songs, podcasts, and ideas exist at all. If you'd like more details, send an email to follow@celtfather.net. I'd love to have you along on the journey. You can let me know what you're doing while listening. I'm doing a flashback story today for a song called Reavers, Malcolm Reavers. It's from my album Sci-Fi Drinking Songs. I released this interview. It was many years ago. It was on a different podcast, but I closed down that podcast entirely and decided I wanted to share those stories over here. So first up, I'm going to play some music from Whiskey Bay Rovers, and then you're going to find out more about them. This is from their latest album, Taverns and Tides. It is Away Rio.
Well, the anchors away and the sails they are set. Away, Rio. The girls that we're leaving we'll never forget. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. And it's away, Rio. Away, Rio. Singing fare thee well, my pretty young girl. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. So man the good capstan and run her around. Away, Rio. We'll haul up the anchor from out in the sound. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. And it's away, Rio. Away, Rio. So fare thee well, my pretty young girl. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. Well, the chains up and down, now the boatswain did say, away, Rio. We'll heave up the hawsepike from out in the bay. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. And it's away, Rio. Away, Rio. Singing fare thee well, my pretty young girl. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. Well, heave with our will, boys, yeah, heave long and strong. Away, Rio. Sing a good chorus, for it is a good song. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. And it's away, Rio. Away, Rio. Singing fare thee well, my pretty young girl. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. Goodbye, fare ye well, all you ladies of town. Away, Rio. We've left you enough for to buy a silk gown. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. And it's away, Rio. Away, Rio. Singing fare thee well, my pretty young girl. And we're bound for the Rio Grande. And it's away, Rio. Away, Rio. Singing fare thee well, my pretty young girl. And we're bound for the Rio Grande.
Welcome to the Celtic Geek. My name is Marc Gunn, and I am here with Jared B.O. B.O. How's it pronounced?
Jared B.O.
B.O., which, it's French.
Very Cajun French name.
Cajun French. And you are from Cajun France, huh?
No, not really. Lafayette, Louisiana,
Lafayette.
Which is the center of Cajun country. Lived there all my life.
Yeah. And how long have you been doing music?
Let's see. I've always loved music. Did a little singing in the early years of school, and about, 10, 11 years ago, I got invited to learn drumming for belly dancers, actually. A lot of fun, and I started drumming there, and I just kept doing it for many, many years, and then I've always loved singing, so
And you, of course, perform with the Whiskey Bay Rovers.
I do indeed. We have a lot of fun. We're 7 of us total. We all sing.
7? There's only 5 over there or whatever.
We're missing 2 this weekend, sadly.
Okay, I could count. Good. I was worried I kind of messed it up. But now, the reason I was actually wanting to talk with you specifically, obviously, is because you wrote an awesome song.
I appreciate the compliment.
What's it called?
It is called Reavers, Malcolm Reavers.
Which is on a cool CD. What is that?
Sci-Fi Drinking Songs.
That's it. Yeah, I hear it's an awesome album.
It is.
So where did you get inspiration for that song? Do y'all sing the original Lever Johnny?
We do actually have Lever Johnny Lever in our lineup. And I had...
the song that it's based on. You know?
Yes. Shortly after I had learned this song, I was kind of messing around with the lyrics in my head, and I went, Reavers, Malcolm, oh. And I was like, wait, no, someone's done this. Someone has to have done this.
Actually, from what I understand, there actually have been people who've done it, but none as good. None of them came off as good. I heard
I looked it up. I didn't find anybody had it. And last year, I approached you and I said, hey, I had this idea for a song. And you're like, really, what? And I said, Reavers, Malcolm Reavers. And I sang one verse of it. And you were like, oh my God, you need to finish this song.
Firefly rules. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Then I harassed you for the next few months.
You did, because I'm very slow at doing things. But, yeah, I came up with the idea. I mean, Firefly, absolutely fantastic show. And the song lends itself very well because the original songs, mostly the lines in it are about how terrible their journey was. And it's the last song they usually sing as they pull into the dock. Uh-huh. So a lot of the lines are about how...
So you actually know about the history of that.
Yeah. So it's basically the song where they can unofficially complain about the captain and everything else without getting, whipped.
Nice.
So I just came up with lines of, like I said, I love Firefly, and I just thought of a number of lines, and I sent you what I had, and you liked what was there. Then you took a few out and added some in to make it a nice, more cohesive storyline, and I think it came out rather fantastic.
I love it. Not only do I love it, but it's just a beautiful song to sing. My daughter loves singing it. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers. It's just fun. She has no clue what a Reaver is, but it doesn't matter because it's a gorgeous melody.
Indeed.
So, do you write many songs?
Actually, that was the first I've ever really written.
Yeah. Home run! Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll get some more original stuff for the Rovers. I've been working on.
Does the group write much original music?
We have one song that's original at the moment. It's "Ghost of Pierre LeBlanc," who is it's a true story of a sailor that sailed the Jean Lafitte. So it's a local legend as well. He was supposedly left on an island with all Lafitte's gold, and then found and killed by somebody, and now his ghost roams the said island. Nice,
great story.
It's a haunting song. It's very, very well done, written by Steve in the band.
Cool, excellent. And so now you perform with the Whiskey Bay Rovers. You're performing at the Louisiana Renaissance Festival. Do you do stuff outside of the fair?
We occasionally do. We do NOLA Pirate Week every year. See.
Yeah, I heard you had a smashing show for Talk Like a Pirate Day.
We did. We performed at Bayou Brewery. They invited us over for Talk Like a Pirate Day, and we had a lot of fun. A lot of people came out to see us, and we hope to do things like that frequently and more often.
And by this time, most people have already probably heard the Whiskey Bay Rovers interview. Hopefully, if not, check the feed. Where can people find more about you and your new coming songwriting?
We have
for more Firefly songs. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers.
We have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Whiskey Bay Rovers. Look us up. We post anything that we do up on there. You can contact us at that or our Gmail account, whiskeybayrovers@gmail.com.
All right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, very much, Mark.
Thought I heard Jane Cobb say, Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, we've gotta get going before they come our way, and we're running from the Reavers. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, oh Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, for we're sailing fast with the Firefly aglow, and we're running from the Reavers. Lead us, Malcolm, lead us with that grin. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, there's many a worse spot that we've been in, except while running from the Reavers. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, oh Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, for we're sailing fast with the Firefly aglow, and we're running from the Reavers. River knocked out Jane, that'll never get old. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, she's like a weapon that is out of control for Miranda and the Reavers. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, oh Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, for we're sailing fast with the Firefly aglow, and we're running from the Reavers. Are you sure you wanna go near Reaver space? Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, where does it get fun to cut up your face? Now we're running from the Reavers. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, oh Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, oh we're sailing fast with the Firefly aglow, and we're running from the Reavers. They all lay down and fell dead asleep. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, I wonder if they dream of homicidal sheep, 'cause the rest turned into Reavers. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, oh Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, we're sailing fast with the Firefly aglow, and we're running from the Reavers. Wash is an ace, he's a leaf on the wind. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, and though he was great, we didn't did him in, while we all ran away from Reavers. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, oh Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, for we're sailing fast with the Firefly aglow, and we're running from the Reavers. Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, oh Reavers, Malcolm Reavers, for we're sailing fast with the Firefly aglow, and we're running from the Reavers. I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a different sort of thing. This podcast I largely think of as more Celtic music, and I have some stuff. But you know what? I feel like I'm running shy of, or at least haven't found some new Celtic songs. One of the things that I consider reason I got into music was because I wanted to be a songwriter, and part of my goal with Pub Songs and Stories in 2026 is to have more stories by Celtic songwriters, Celtic and folk songwriters. So right now, I could use some more stories. Pub with No Tunes is an original Celtic song, and I love that. Brennan the Moor is not. Or Away Rio they're not. They're traditional songs, and I want to have some traditional music in this podcast as well. But I'd also like some original stuff. So I would love your thoughts. Are there any bands that you have seen, preferably, more folk and not rock, full drum kits or whatever. But if you find something, just send it in. Follow at celtfather.net. I'd just love to see who you find and what songs are kind of inspiring, moving you. I'd love to know your thoughts. Maybe you're hearing them in the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. Is there a song there that's moving you? Let me know. I'd love to do it. I don't have a quest this month. If you'd like to check out the quest and chorus, make sure you head on over to the website where you'll find a way to unlock past quests. There was definitely a quest last month, and I still really want to do an interview with IN.CaliCeltic, and so we can maybe have another quest that comes in for that. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I want to finish up once again with my daughter and I singing together. This is May Will Bloom with I'll Tell My Ma. All the instrumentation, I am proud to say, I got to play, and that was really weird. Usually when I record something, I don't do the instrumentation. I just do auto harp and vocals. That's all I'll ever do. Now, I did when I recorded What Color's Your Dragon many, many years ago. What was that, 2000? I think I recorded it between 2007 and 9. Those songs, yes, I added banjo into it. I had drums. It was, but I didn't do much else. Usually if I, past 20 some odd years, if I needed additional instrumentation, I hired a band or hired musicians. This time I wanted to push myself. My daughter playing with May Will Bloom has helped me a lot as a musician because I am pushing myself. We learned this song by Benson Boone that we performed for a couple of our shows, and my daughter is doing a great job with this song. But it's a pop song, and I'm learning how to play it, and which is very good for my skill level. And so when I was recording I'll Tell My Ma, not only did I play all the instrumentation, but the drums, that seems easy enough. I had my ballroom that I played. I actually tried doing the Doombeck that I have, but I can never get a good sound out of that thing. So I gave up on that one. But I played the guitar, and I was like, well, one of the things I've never done is I've always played rhythm guitar, and I've never done leads. And there's a little bit of leads. I don't know if it comes out super great in this recording, but it definitely got my brain thinking about it and how I can do that again in the future. So listen for that if you get a chance. I'm really pleased with this. And again, if you haven't gotten a chance to download or buy the single, if you'd like to get the May Will Bloom album pen, it will take you to the single as well, but we don't have an album yet, but it will be coming in the future. And this very first album pen, I think we only have about a dozen of those left before they are all gone. So if you'd like one of those, head on over to magerecords.com. That's about it. Let's play I'll Tell My Ma by May Will Bloom.
They knock at the door and ring at the bell, saying, "Oh, my true love, are you well?" Out she comes as white as snow, rings on her fingers and bells on her toes. Old Johnny Morrissey said she'll die if she doesn't get the fellow with the roving eye. She is handsome, she is pretty, she's Bella, Belfast City. She's courting 1, 2, 3. Please, won't you tell me who is she? Tumbling
Thanks for listening to Pub Songs and Stories. This episode was edited by Mitchell Peterson. You can follow and listen to the show on my Patreon or wherever you find podcasts. Sign up to my mailing list to learn more about songs featured in this podcast. Discover where I'm performing. Before we go, a quick reminder, caring about Celtic culture also means caring about the land that shaped it. The songs we love were born from fields, coasts, forests, and villages that depend on a healthy planet. Climate action doesn't have to be loud or perfect. It starts small. Walk when you can. Choose renewable energy if it's available to you. Support artists, farmers, and local businesses who care about the earth. Reduce waste. Reuse what you can. Leave a place better than you found it. When we protect the land, we protect the music, the stories, and the generations yet to sing them. You can find out more about the Celtic Spring Challenge, again, over at pubsong.com. There's a whole podcast of it for the Irish and Celtic Music Podcast. So I hope you will join the Celtic Spring Challenge this April every day. The goal is to walk for 20 minutes, listen to Celtic music, and then pick up a piece of trash to take care of our land. Thank you so much for listening. Sláinte. Join the quest and sing along at pubsong.com.